Streaming. Yes, sir.
We're back. A little late, but that's all right. Still, a little bit. Gonna keep everything pretty quick today, because as everybody knows, the biggest news is what the title is. Jake Paul doing his thug fizzle. Man, bro. Oh my gosh, I can't. Yeah, there's parts of me that's like, I guess it's kind of cool that people in America care about boxing, but then to me, man, it is so insulting that all the news, Fox, Sky News, like all these regular news platforms are talking about Jake Paul fighting Anthony Joshua. And yet we have 5 of literally the best boxers in the world that were born and raised in the United States of America fighting in Riyadh this Saturday.
Right.
Ain't none of those same news is talking about them. It's terrible, man. It's terrible.
It is bad. But hey, before we keep going, man, we want to make sure we're good. Anybody out there in any land that wants to make sure we're not struggle screaming right, shout out to leader and all that good stuff. I hope the sound is good. It sounds good to me. Looks like all channels are absolutely a go. So I just want to make sure this is good. What's your thoughts over here?
I'm looking at the YouTube right now, and it looks like it's working. Looks like the sound is good. I don't know what it is on TikTok. I don't have TikTok.
You don't have TikTok?
Hell no.
No, I didn't have it forever, so I don't blame you. I don't blame you, dog. But yeah, we're good. TikTok is live and well. I expect to see a big crowd as always.
Yep, especially with this whole mess. So, I mean, tell me your first thoughts on it. You either heard it from me or you heard it from somebody. But the minute it broke, bro, I was within 1 hour of when it happened, and then I just started sending it to everybody.
It's ridiculous. I mean, that's really how you have to look at it. It's ridiculous. I mean, it is what it is. I think though, this is it. And this is the problem with what's been going on. We all know the game Jake's been playing. Some more than others. And now, I think he's just signed a check that his ass can't cash. I really believe that. And I don't think Anthony Joshua has anything in him to take a fall or a dive at this point in his career. That would be crazy. That would be insane. So I don't know, man. I think this man is about to get himself knocked out and potentially severely hurt.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? There's two trains of thoughts in this. Where number one, right? And if you listen to UK news like I do, and you know how like the minute this got announced, the way UK media and outside of the US media looks at this fight, they're like, it's almost like shaming Anthony Joshua, you know, because they're like, why would you do this? Is this even fake?
Right.
Are you gonna end up carrying this guy? And that's the type of thing that when I was on ATP Combat Media last week Friday, before this fight was even announced, I kept saying, I don't think this fight's going to happen because it's not good for boxing. It's actually bad for boxing because then it makes it seem like it's a circus, right? And, you know, there was disagreements with it because the obvious thing, Professor T, is that, yes, a bunch of eyeballs are going to be on this. If you have 300 million global subscribers on Netflix, and this is not a pay-per-view, it's just included in your Netflix package. Right. So while you're waiting for Stranger Things or Physical Asia or whatever damn thing you're waiting on in Netflix that you have Netflix for anyway, then December 19th in Florida, live for free on Netflix, is Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua. So of course everyone's going to watch this. Of course, right? It's almost impossible for us to say no one will watch it. Unless there's an NFL game that I don't know about on that Friday on Netflix, I'm pretty sure everybody's going to watch this on December 19th, right? So that was part of my problem, is that, great, now everybody's going to watch that in the sport of boxing somehow somebody who isn't ranked in the heavyweight division, someone who doesn't deserve a shot at a top 5 heavyweight currently, is just getting one just because, right? And this is my point, right? So F1 racing's happening here in Las Vegas right now, right? I've seen the track. I've actually driven through it because it's just a part of our roads. Right. It's wet. It's raining. I don't know how they're going to do F1 here. But imagine, Professor T, if they just let you drive at F1. If they were like, hey, man, you know what? You know, you were a professional athlete. You did college at the high level, right? We were seeing all your highlights on the social media, right, Professor T. So how about if we do we throw you in an F1 car and go ahead and race with the big boys? I love it. That's what's happening, right? And I know this is an unpopular take. If you're a Jake Paul follower and you're a Jake Paul fan, you're going to say to me, well, he's proven that he's good enough to box. Okay, sure. I mean, great. If you really believe that, I mean, but sure. Okay, but somehow, some way, this has become palatable to people. All right? Right? And this is where, I turn it back to you, Professor T, where you are a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You understand not only combat martial arts, but you actually played the sports at a high level, right? In what other sport is this crap allowed? No. Where you let someone who doesn't deserve it jump the ship and let somebody who is about to fight Tyson Fury, possibly Alexander Usyk sometime next year. This is ridiculous, man.
It is. It's disappointing. It's a black eye on boxing. Period. There's no way around it. I'm not going to try to sugarcoat this. It's the reason why it hasn't been taken serious in a long time. A person like Jake Paul being capable of infiltrating it as he has and using it 100% to his advantage and really find a way to market and, promote unlike no other. I mean, we got to give him his props for what he's done from that respect and how he can sell a fight because it's going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're 100% correct. Like, again, for all of you guys who have watched the show before and you think, oh, man, Angelo must hate Jake Paul. I actually really like him. Right. I actually know the people on his team, right? Like, what he's done to get more of the casual fan base, like my son and maybe Professor T's kids, to get to even know that there's this sport called boxing, right? I appreciate it. And I appreciate all the things that he's done to promote other fighters who are coming up, who wasn't getting the opportunity that Jake Paul opened the doors for them, right? I appreciate what he's done for women's boxing, and how serious he's really turned. He changed the game so much that people like Clarissa Shields cannot sign with him and still make $8 million, right? He's changed the figures. He's made it better. So I can spend an hour with you guys and talk to you about all the great things that Jake Paul has been able to do to help in promoting the sport of boxing. What I am specifically talking about is in any other sport, it is not allowed for an unranked athlete to jump the ship or to jump ahead and get a shot at anything. Like this is, and part of it is because of safety, right? Part of it is because you have to earn it. And boxing is such a wild, wild west of a sport that if you have a company like Netflix, who is in the entertainment business, man, they don't know sports. They will show you a car crash if it somehow gets some ratings, right? Like that's what Netflix is. It's an entertainment company. And from what I understand from reporters like Mike Coppinger and others, what had happened is the Tank Davis domestic violence thing kind of came to a head. Netflix said, nope, we're not going to do that. That's definitely controversial.
Right.
But Jake, here's a list of fighters you have to fight. And we won't take anything less. And apparently, Jake even, so he offered Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia wasn't available. I forgot the other person that he offered. He offered it to Terrence Crawford, who actually took it. Said, yeah, I'll fight you. Right. Okay. But then Anthony Joshua also said yes, and they decided to go with Anthony Joshua. And to tell you the truth, Professor T, if it was at least Terrence Crawford,
Right.
I might have sat there and said, well, Terrence is coming off of the Canelo fight. I've been watching him vacationing, doing Green Bay Packers and Phoenix Suns. The guy was in Japan. Then he went to Ukraine to go visit Usyk. Now he's at the Ben Eubank fight. This guy hasn't really been training, so maybe this is a little bit more palatable. I mean, Terrence Crawford is still gonna whoop his ass, but I mean, at least between the weight difference and Terrence has been vacationing, man. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, at least I could have been like, all right, if you're gonna make it a circus, then I guess you can just make it a circus. And how does it really hurt our sport if it's an exhibition with Terrence Crawford? Right. Okay. This isn't an exhibition.
It's not. This is real. This is
a real fight. This is 8 rounds, 3 minutes, 10-ounce gloves.
They're wearing 10-ounce gloves?
Yes.
OMG. Yeah, Jake Paul is definitely playing with his life.
So
they're wearing 10-ounce gloves. Jake Paul is absolutely playing with his life right now. I didn't know that part. I thought.
Yeah, so that's why. So now you understand my whole point of where I'm coming from is if you're the Florida State Athletic Commission, who has already had fighter deaths in your state because of head trauma, and you allow this to happen, which you are allowing to happen, and then in front of at least, let's say, 100 million global viewers live, Jake Paul gets his head knocked off, falls in the canvas, starts shaking. Bro, this could be bad for boxing. This
no worse.
I mean, like now the Senate and the Congress can get involved and be like, how did this happen? And maybe we should do a national commission. Maybe boxing should only be sanctioned in states that it opens an entire Pandora's box of problems that no one asked for, man. No one asked for this. Okay, I certainly never said I wanted to see Jake Paul versus Joshua. I've always been against it because, in fact, I've had even months ago, I was having a conversation with a very close friend of mine from France, and he was telling me, "Come on, man, you don't think Jake Paul could even last a round with Anthony Joshua?" And I said, "I promise you, the first punch Anthony Joshua throws, Jake Paul will get knocked out." Right? And he said, "Not the first punch." And I said, "It's possible because he hits that hard." And Jake Paul doesn't really have the defensive mechanism to understand boxing in this regard, right? Joshua could do a little fake. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like do a little feint, Professor T. And then right after the feint, bow, and the first punch can end him.
Yeah, I mean it's not
So
we got the shout outs to get to here, man, because there's a lot of people I want to make sure we make sure that they understand we appreciate them here, man. T.O. Rocha's in the building. Hey, we got Chewy in the building, man. Chewy's Raider coverage. Yeah, Chewy. We are jeez. That's for all you Raider fans. We got Douglas Lovo in the building. We got Miguel Marquez in the building. We got Tim Gagney, Roberto Jimenez. That's actually a well-known jiu-jitsu guy. I don't know if it's that. I'm pretty positive that's not him. Roberto Jimenez, he's a young one. He's up with the Tackets, that age group. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think that's him though. But Chemo Sign 52 is in the building. We got the Hellwood Tech Hotel in the building. We got Ono Boy in the building. We got Mr. Alexis. Yeah, Tiffy. We got Tiffy in the building. Shout out to Tiffy. Tyrone, Chappelle, Six. We got King Hardy. We got Tariq Michael, Theodore Bunn, Bobo, T. Nebby. Bro, we got people rolling in today. We got Reagan, we got Loaded, we got Potatoes. What's going on? Appreciate y'all for coming through. Hope you enjoy the show. And do not forget, Reyes Boxing, the Knockout Canvas. That's on Instagram, right? YouTube, TikTok, X, Kick, all of the platforms. We're on all of them. So don't forget, get over there, like and subscribe. And last but not least, hit that notification button because we need you to know when we're late. We're not on time. Yeah, traffic was a little rocky.
Yeah, just how it is, man. But no, so guys, what we were talking about is this whole Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fiasco, and really my concern for the integrity of boxing, because everybody, again, outside of the U.S., regular news is already talking about how is this even being allowed. Right, this is ridiculous, and those guys from outside the U.S., particularly in the U.K. news, they're like, we can only hope that this isn't some weird Anthony Joshua is gonna take it easy on him kind of a match, and for you guys who are like, whoa, we've never seen that before. Yes, we have. Floyd Mayweather literally carried Conor McGregor all the way till the 10th round, and it's actually privately known that there may have been some wagers put on knockout for those rounds, and when Floyd decided to want to knock him out, he knocked him out then, He did. So, first of all, unless you're 100% betting heavy on Anthony Joshua, I would advise you guys, none of you, to bet on this, because I can't really tell you when Anthony Joshua will decide to do whatever. This is how ridiculous of a match it is that Anthony Joshua can decide.
That's the thing, man. And this is, we're also in this new era of betting, right? FanDuel. People really don't think that this is being looked at with a fine-tooth comb and a microscope, because of what Coach Angelo just said. All he has to do is say, hey, guys, vicious knockout 4. You go put your cash down, it's a wrap. If that's what he decides to do, like he said. And there's no easier way to fix a fight, and all it'll take is to get enough wind on somebody that's put money there, for a specific round. If you pay any attention to betting. So I'm a lot nervous for a lot of reasons. It's I don't see anything good coming out of it. That's the other final piece and problem that I have with this fight. There's nothing. If Jake Paul knocks him out, do you really think that's good for boxing?
Oh my! I can't see a world that Jake Paul even lands a clean punch on Anthony Joshua. This is how ridiculous this fight is, guys. Like again, you have to understand that we're not discrediting Jake Paul.
No, okay?
But let's look at the history of his record. He fought Cesar Chavez most recently, who clearly wasn't ready. for this fight, and then got arrested by ICE and deported. Okay. Prior to that, he fought a 60-year-old Mike Tyson who was coming from ulcer surgery, and that fight was an exhibition because they had to wear bigger gloves.
Yeah. And we saw Mike absolutely was holding back. There were several times in that fight that I saw even an old Mike. And it felt like he was biting that glove because of it, right? I mean, old school, he came from somewhere, right, in his old times of training and so forth. But to me, that was a frustrated person that knew, man, I can't knock this dude out. My family's counting on this bag. That's really what it boiled down to. Because otherwise, if he didn't need that money, I think he'd have saw Jake Paul get knocked out by a 56-year-old Tyson. Yeah.
And then again, you look before that, they were all exhibitions. The one guy he fought that was a real boxer was Tommy Fury, who is probably better known for Love Island than he is as boxing. Right?
Exactly.
And even still, he lost to Tommy Fury. So in what sanctioning body world would it ever be okay to all of a sudden elevate Jake Paul to not only a heavyweight division, which he's never really been in a professional setting other than the Mike Tyson exhibition, but now he's fighting one of the, in fact, so that I'm not mixing words, Professor T, I'm going to look it up right now. What ranking is Anthony Joshua in let's see, Anthony Joshua right now is currently, because he hasn't fought in a year and a half, so maybe he's not currently ranked. You know what I mean? The last time he fought was Daniel Dubois, but I just want to make sure because he still is ranked. He's ranked number 10 in the world.
Heavyweight.
All right.
Heavyweight.
And this is a guy who last fought against Daniel Dubois, who was the IBF champion, over a year ago, and during that time he was ranked in the top 5. So he dropped 5 rankings for inactivity. So how is it possible that an unranked person is allowed to do this? A professional fight, 10-ounce gloves, 8 rounds, right? I mean, this sounds like one of those fights they do in Mexico, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like a Tijuana special. You know what I mean? Right? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, guys? Okay. And that's not even like the coup de grace to us. The fact that Netflix is willing to pay them each, I heard anywhere between 50 to 70 million each. Bro, come on, man. There are better movies we could have funded for Netflix.
I don't see anything good that can come out of it.
The only thing I can see is people like your own kids and my son and people of a different demographic, casual base are all gonna tune in because they want to see this circus, right? So I guess it brings eyeballs to Anthony Joshua, right? And it brings eyeballs to the sport of boxing. But on the flip side, to your point, if what ends up happening is something tragic, it's bad for boxing.
It's bad.
It's bad. Now, so the only way, and Joshua really is in a no-win position because if he drags this out and it goes to decision, everybody's gonna say, "Oh man, he just carried him. He didn't." You know what I mean?
Correct.
So I don't know, bro. I mean, I get like I'm trying to give it some grace. Like I guess if we were watching Alabama play, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like one of those off the wall schools, Air Force maybe, right? You know what I mean? Alabama's playing Air Force, so Alabama's going to score at least 40.
Right.
But I guess we have to watch it because it's on national TV kind of thing, right? You know what I mean? I guess, but you don't play boxing. People keep forgetting this, Professor T.
I'm telling
this
you.
is a sport, man. Oh, so kudos to all of you guys who are going to make money on this. Here at the Knockout Canvas, we have to bring it up because it's actual news. Even if we don't like it,
Right.
even if we think it could actually be bad for the sport, whatever, man. I'm looking forward to Anthony Joshua is supposed to fight in February in Riyadh, and then they're supposed to do a Joshua versus Tyson Fury fight in September at Wembley. That's what, and the rumor for the February one in Riyadh could be against Deontay Wilder. So those are like actual real matches. This one, it's a circus, it's a spectacle.
It is.
If y'all like that stuff, then good for you. I hope for the sake of Jake Paul, man, that you don't seriously get hurt, bro.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah, nobody wants to see you get seriously hurt. I don't. I do not want to see it. Take a knee, bro. Take a knee. The minute you get hit in the body, just take a knee, man. No, you don't need to be a tough guy.
Bro, he's never ever come remotely close to anything like this. Not a single person. Tyson, you can't count. Too old, and he took it easy. It was obvious.
And here's another one too for you, Professor T, and this bothers me too. So the growing narrative, especially with even credible media right now, is, well, you know what? You got to give Jake Paul a lot of balls for doing this. You got to give him a lot of balls, man. Takes a pretty brave guy to do this. Professor T, that would literally be me, like me saying, well, you got to give Professor T a lot of credit for, standing on the edge of the San Francisco Bay Bridge without any type of safety net, because you got, like, no one asked you to do it, man. No one asked you to, I didn't ask you to go try to almost kill yourself. So what? There's nothing brave about that. There is nothing brave about it at all. I disagree.
He doesn't need the money. Like, this is strange. Like, it's just strange. I mean, come on, man. Anybody and that's the thing. Jake Paul, he knows. Like, that's why I'm like, I don't understand what's going on. He knows. He's in there fighting. There's no more. He's not a boxer anymore. So let's get that out there in the open. Jake Paul is a boxer, whether you like that or not, whether you think he's good or not. None of that matters. He is technically a boxer, and I don't consider him to be a bum. I mean, is he good? I don't think he's good. But would I say he's average? Absolutely. Maybe even slightly above average because his right hand is real.
Right.
I'm just telling y'all, the right hand is real. You don't just drop freaking
Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, you don't drop somebody like that unless you got a right hand. That. So I don't know. I just don't understand why he personally is putting himself in harm's way. I don't understand the measurables behind this move. It's cruiserweight, maybe.
Yeah, like if he would have at least fought somebody in that, right? Like cruiserweight level, around his skill set level, maybe not somebody in the top 15. You know what I mean? Right? It's palatable. But come on, man. What are we doing? This is not good. Nope. It's not good. So again, we don't want to bore you with us basically telling you it's not something we agree with. It's going to happen. We're going to have to talk about it because it's news.
Right.
It's certainly, to us, probably the biggest thing is, at least for me, is that we have real amazing 5 American born and raised fighters fighting for a world title this Saturday in Riyadh. David Benavidez, Brian Norman Jr. and Devin Haney, Abdullah Mason, Jesse Bam Rodriguez, and 2 of them are in the top pound for pound list right now, current, right? How are we, and I'm talking, when I say we, the general mainstream media, Fox News, CBS, Sky News, why are you and us not talking about and celebrating those fighters? Why are we talking about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua? Yeah. And that's what I'm saying is, now, if you live outside the U.S., they are actually talking about regular news, right? But in the U.S., all of a sudden, Jake Paul's fighting. It's at the Breakfast Club, bro. Like, y'all don't want to talk about David Benavidez? Nobody wants to talk about David Benavidez, defending his WBC 175-pound title. Right. Nobody wants to talk about Devin Haney and Brian Norman Jr. Right?
I can't wait to see that fight.
Yeah, like Good Morning America or ABC News, you know what I mean?
Versus Brawler, yeah.
Yeah, you guys don't want to see a possible Leonard Hearns of this time, right? Jesse Bam Rodriguez. None of y'all in Texas on regular news want to talk about one of your own.
Right.
Who's one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world right now, who's defending in Riyadh on a unification. He's trying to go for his third belt in the same weight class, right? How about Abdullah Mason? How about if we're just going to talk about one of the brightest, youngest American stars, 21 years old, fighting for his first world title in Riyadh? Would anyone in the United States of America mainstream media like to talk about these type of things? Because all you guys want to talk about is Jake Paul.
Yeah. It's sad, man. It's sad.
It's shameful. So let's talk about that then, Professor T. I'm very excited about On the Zone. I've sent you the timings on it. Fortunately for us, it is on American primetime TV. So at least it starts on a good hour for us on a Saturday. The main event will be at 5:45 Pacific time, which would be 7:45 Texas time, right? And what's crazy is in Riyadh, it's at like 4 a.m., bro. They're just so they're making this so that it's accessible to United States of America time, right? You're gonna get a chance to see them. It's on a Saturday, so other than college football, I'm thinking if you're big into combat sports, you're not gonna miss this. This is probably the best world championship boxing card with American fighters that we've ever seen, maybe in the history, man, because it's 4 world title fights. Maybe in the history, because I'm trying to think what other ones we saw in the 80s that had 4 world championship fights of people, and 2 of them were in the top pound for pound list. You know what I mean? Like, that would have been like if Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather were on the same card somehow, and then like there were other people going for the world title, like Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Like back in the day. Like I can't think of a card that was this stacked.
Yeah,
and especially Americans, like United States of America talent and champions and boxers. So I'm excited for it. It's on DAZN. It's on pay-per-view. DAZN's giving out good deals right now for it. Anyways, you guys who are boxing or combat sports fans, if you're watching us at the Knockout Canvas, then you'll have a reason to watch it this Saturday. So let's start with the first one. Bam Rodriguez fighting Puma Martinez. This is for the WBO, WBC, and WBA 115-pound unification. It's for the, and I think they might include Ring Magazine on this too. So right off the bat, Puma Martinez is coming off of beating the former WBA champion Ioka from Japan, and then they rematch, so he beat him twice. Puma Martinez is a power puncher from Argentina. He comes from that same warrior class as Marcus Maidana, right? You know what I'm saying? Like that Sergio Martinez, there's Argentina's always come up big when it comes to boxing.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, but Jesse Bam Rodriguez, man, from Texas, I've always called him the Mexican-American Manny Pacquiao. He's doing things. He's already won the 112-pound world title. He's unified at 115. He's currently the number 5 pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, according to Ring Magazine. And that's the opener, by the way. That's what we're opening with as the first championship fight. So what do you think of that, Professor T, and who do you got winning?
I got Bam Bam, man. You already know. You just said it. The American Manny Pac.
Okay. All right. Good fight, though, right? You don't expect it to be a easy fight. You expect it to be a very close, good fight. All right.
But I think
Bam Bam does it.
He pulls
it out. All right. The next one follows it up with two of the young, undefeated prospects. One from the UK, Sam Noakes, who I believe is 27 years old, undefeated power puncher at 135 pounds, who will be fighting for the vacant WBO 135-pound title against the 21-year-old phenom from the USA, Professor T's favorite prospect, who's about to become a world champion, maybe. We'll see. Abdullah Mason. Talk to me, Professor T. What do you think of that one?
It's my favorite fighter. If you go to our pages, he's the one in the background, particularly on Facebook, I believe. The minute I laid eyes on this kid, I knew he was special. It's not hard to spot talent in boxing, in my opinion, especially when they have such abundant skill sets and not afraid to show it. He reminds me of a young Mayweather. I mean in terms of he's trying to knock you out, right? He's trying to knock you out. He's willing to go through the fire to do so. He doesn't mind eating punches to get to you. I wouldn't say Floyd minded punches. I wouldn't say he fought like that, but his aggressive offensive side of fighting is what, he reminds me of. So I'm super excited for this kid. I think the sky's the limit. I mean, there are plenty of people picking him now to be, the next thing, the next guy, including Terrence Bud Crawford, my favorite fighter right now, maybe of all time. Bud Crawford might be my true number one favorite fighter of all time.
It's hard not to say that for you, just because it's within your lifetime and you were older. You know what I mean?
Yes, and just the other thing is the respect I have for that little place called Omaha, Nebraska. I don't think y'all people understand. So I'll give you all this. One, and maybe this will be a little bit of an eye-opener. Maybe y'all, because this is coming from football. So a lot of people do not know this. My boy Mark Rollins ran a 4.340. One of the fastest dudes out of Nebraska, period. In fact, was part of the 4x1 that actually won some track meet back in high school where they beat everybody. Texas, Miami, California. Amon Green was on that track team, and he was the slowest dude. Now, if y'all remember Amon Green from Nebraska, right? Running back. I mean, one of the all-time best as far as Nebraska's ever seen. Right? He had a great career in the NFL. He was the slowest dude on that squad, on that four-leg. And that's the speed side of it. My boy Cedric Woodrow Cooper, man. I ain't mean to put his whole name out there, but I say it because I don't think people understand. This guy was a true freshman benching 450 pounds close grip. And I asked, why do you bench close grip? Nobody taught me how to bench. That's Omaha, Nebraska, y'all. The athletes, the stuff that comes out of there, you can't make it up. It's a special place. I've been there several times. And he is the epitome of Omaha, Nebraska. Like, yeah, so there's absolutely a lot behind why he's my favorite fighter, probably of all time. Surpassing all of my previous, and it's because I know where he's come from. I've played against guys that were so gifted, I mean, it didn't make sense. I mean, and these dudes still to this day, man, Mark Rollins probably can still run a 4.40. I'm not joking. This dude, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't put the just me in the beard, you would think that dude's probably still in his late 20s, possibly early 30s. You know, like, yeah, it's something in the water out there. That's all I can tell you. I mean, there's some major athletes, and I know I'm not the only one. There are several brothers that's played with other brothers from Omaha, and it just doesn't make sense. So just want to make sure I put it out there as to why he's my favorite, because there's a lot behind it. Omaha, Nebraska's just got some unreal athletes.
And when you have the current pound for pound best fighter in the world in Terrence Crawford basically telling you that Abdullah Mason might be your next great guy, right? Because again, Terrence Crawford's 38, Abdullah Mason, and he'll be going on 39 next year, right? Abdullah Mason is 21. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Terrence Crawford is actually, old enough to be his dad.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what I mean, right? You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So, I mean, weird. Yeah, it would be weird and it would be wrong. But I'm just saying the age gap is so high that, so yeah, man. Like, that's it. Just to me, it's one of the ones that if TMZ was going to cover a fight, they should be talking about Abdullah Mason, but they're not, right? So we're excited about that. And then the co-main event, if we could even call it that, because it's not really a co-main event. I actually think it's the one that more people are talking about in the boxing space, in the boxing world, is the current 24-year-old WBO undefeated welterweight champion of the world, Brian Norman Jr., the power punching machine that knocked out Jin Sasaki in Japan so badly that Jin Sasaki literally forgot 6 weeks of his life, bro. Literally.
Wild.
Okay, that's wild. And he's going against a man who was just on the pound for pound list in March of 2025 before they took him off. Okay, a man who has dominated at 135, right? Like it or not, whether you agree he won fights or not, he is undefeated. He has been doing it for a long time now, and he's only 26 years old, Professor T. He's not even old. He's only 26. Is Devin the American Dream Haney? They're fighting each other. How you explain it to me, Professor T? How is it possible that in any American state they're not talking more about this fight?
Right. It's I'm telling you, it's there's a lot of combinations, man. It reminds me of my time when I completely have just forgotten about basketball. Let's just keep it a bean. Once Michael Jordan hung up those shoelaces, man, who's really been paying attention to basketball? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And I think you're just feeling that in terms of arguably the best dude to ever do it, and Pretty Boy Floyd, Money Mayweather. Like, what he did to the game, it's going to be hard to recover. I think he messed it up in a great way for himself, right? Like, look, I admire what Floyd Mayweather has done. The work speaks for itself. To be that disciplined for that long a period of time and really put on those kind of performances, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I don't know, man. I just think that that's why we have the difficulty in the United States. Everybody paid to see him lose, and they've been so disappointed not to see it that they could care less. I mean, we need a Wembanyama of boxing. Can that be Abdullah? Possibly.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, we got Boots out there. Wolf and Wrecking Shop. But again, there's so many great American. They're born and raised here, man. Like they
gotta fight. See, because that's the other piece that is missing that nobody talks about. As far as Pretty Boy Floyd, not Money Mayweather, because Pretty Boy Floyd fought. And when I say fought, he fought a lot and was trying to knock you out. Like, That is missing from the game today. There's not anyone that, sure, Boots, he can be considered one of the closest to it. It's just he got caught in a bad timing situation. It just makes no sense for Terrence Crawford to fight him in any way, shape, or form. That's just the honest truth. It just doesn't even make sense. It's literally zero risk. Reward. Zero. There's nothing he gains from beating him. At all. Not even. No one is looking at Jerron Boots Ennis as an all-time great. I'm sorry, and that may ruffle some feathers.
And for right now, he shouldn't be looked upon as an all-time great because he hasn't. All these. The biggest thing he's done so far is he unified the welterweight division and was Ring Magazine champion. And I love Boots Ennis, and I believe he is the future. But he's also only 27, so. He's 1 year older than Devin Haney. You know what I mean? Right. So there's room for improvement, right? He might even have just turned 28. There's room for improvement and growth. My point more is when Sugar Ray Leonard was young, coming out of the Olympics, he was already on commercials. They were covering him on TV. His fights were televised, right?
Right.
And the fact that you have Brian Norman Jr., who's 24 years old, and Devin Haney, who's 26 years old, both are undefeated. Both are American, born and raised. They're fighting for the glamour division, the 147-pound welterweight division. Absolutely. It's a championship fight. Why isn't Fox News, CBS, ABC, TMZ, all these guys covering this fight? Just even this fight. Cover this one. Because this one's a big deal.
Real quick, I see my sisters in the building. Tip Dog! Hey now, what's going on, family? That's actually my old roommate from JUCO, man. And I see
that's awesome.
In the building. Appreciate y'all for coming through.
That's awesome.
Enjoy the show. Tip Dog. And you want to talk about a female athlete, bro? Tiffany from San Diego, from Dago. Bro, she has skills. Basketball, volleyball. She played several sports, but I'm pretty basketball was her thing. But her, Maisha, my boy Derek, and
that's awesome, man. I bet she could beat Jake Paul.
That's hilarious. Shout out to.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. But and again, you understand my frustration about it, right? Because I'm such a boxing purist that they're not covering it, and that I'm excited for. And that wasn't even the main event. The main event is the guy who has been the boogeyman for so long that Canelo ducked him for 2 years. Right. David Benavidez is getting a chance to defend his WBC 175-pound title against Anthony Yarde. Anthony Yarde is the guy that gave a hard time to your guy, Artur Beterbiev. Yeah. Knocked him down in the whole bit, and it was a war. So, like I said, man, we didn't just give you one; we gave you 4 world title fights, and you guys want to talk about Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua. Like, this is what I mean. It's like it's in the USA, it's just backwards, dude. I don't understand, right? Like, it's just this. I feel like I live in this weird, bizarro world where there's actually amazing best versus best boxing happening, and and USA can't even complain. Oh, they're not giving it to us. Right. They are giving it to you. It's this Saturday. Right?
It's big, and so it's that night too, right? Because that's one other shameless plug. Hold on.
He's gonna get something, ladies and gentlemen. He's getting something to show off. But yeah, here it is,
people. I don't know if y'all know, but this is actually a big week. This is why I've gotten that footage. I showed Coach Angelo and so forth. But hey, Bobcat, it's Cat Grizz Week, ladies and gentlemen. I don't think y'all understand what that means. We going up to Missoula, Montana on Saturday to pretty much battle out for that Big Sky Conference and a better seed in the FCS. So it's tradition for all sports. Every year, what we do this week, everybody changes their profile picture and everybody starts pumping out a whole bunch of stuff from college. So that's why y'all see a lot of it. And in fact, maybe I'll pull some up a little later.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's Bobcat Week.
Yes, it's good. It's a good week, man. And it gives you all those feels. So I'll be honest, this is the stuff that you go to college for. I mean, right? It's not the grades, right? It's the network. It's the people. It's the camaraderie. Because this week, like all of us, right? No matter what sport you play, girl or boy, like you feel like you're back in that locker room this week. It's hard to explain, but it's a big week. It's a big week. So yeah, I'm excited.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Well, congrats on you guys doing so well again and doing the whole thing there. That keeping it up with your old alma mater. That's awesome. That's awesome. If you guys had boxing, I'm sure you guys would do great.
Hey, so you want to know what's funny? That's actually the first time in place I've ever had my real official boxing match.
Oh, okay, cool.
And Bozeman, man, and I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I didn't prepare or nothing. I just
you just went out there, right?
I just went out on straight GP, and I won my first match, but I laid in the hallway for about 2 hours. I was supposed to do another fight, and it didn't happen.
Right. Well, like we always try to tell everybody on the show, man, you don't play it. It's a very different sport. Very different.
Beyond different. And that's again why I took it serious. Like when I decided to start training for real. It was something that I absolutely took serious because you don't play this sport. And I knew I was going to, the one big regret that I do have, and I can say it, I have no problems, is I wanted my one MMA fight. I never got it.
It's not too late, man.
You're crazy. You're crazy. But yeah, I've got my Muay Thai fight. I've got my boxing fight, right? But I never got my MMA fight. And that kind of sucks. I'm not going to lie to y'all.
Not too late, Professor T. It's not too late.
Yeah.
Get your old ass out there.
Bro, all it takes is getting punched in the face one time, and you're like, oh, yeah, I remember.
Take him down, Professor T. Take him down right away. Take him down.
I'm not getting punched in the face by people that train and know how to punch in the face. Like, it's a very different feeling.
Well, that's actually a great segue for what happened this last weekend, and there were great fights. It was kind of a fight weekend extravaganza because in the UK they play it in their prime time, but it's the daytime for us. Right. We got to watch the whole Conor Benn versus Chris Eubanks rematch and the event, and then after that, if you were watching boxing on Tubi in Mexico, was the top rank card. And the interesting thing was the top rank card did have WBO 126-pound champion Rafael Espinoza defending his title. They had the silver medalist heavyweight Richard Torres. He got a knockout. They had Emiliano Vargas in it. They had number 4 ranked Landolfo Delgado at 140 pounds. So it would be like a real top ranked card that you would watch it on ESPN, but because they don't have the ESPN deal, it was on Tubi, y'all. So everybody, for now, if you want to see some top ranked boxers, go ahead and download the Tubi app for now. And at least it's not pay-per-view, so that was nice. And then for the rest of us who are in the US, we got to watch UFC 322, which was an awesome card. And it was just, oh, by the way, for you bettors, I for the main card, I didn't bet Professor T, but I was asked, right? And I'm not going to say who it was that didn't listen to me, but like if you know how this goes, Professor T. If you're going to call me and you're going to ask me for what I think, I'm gonna give you the analytical breakdown of what I think it is. I'm not saying I'm always right, but I do tend to be up in the 85 to 90%. Right?
Coach Angelo be right.
You know, I'm close at least. Like sometimes it's like, I didn't expect that. For the most part, I can explain to you why I was leaning a certain way. So the main event, the 4 fights that were there was Leon Edwards, who was the former champion, was fighting a guy by the name of Prates, right?
Yeah.
Prates is this, I know, right?
Oh, I saw that.
I know. So that's what I was saying. Is I was like, you know, a lot of people were leaning Leon Edwards because Leon Edwards was former champion. And I was asked, well, who do you think's going to win this? And I said, honestly, I think Prates is going to win because I don't think Leon Edwards is that guy anymore. And so that ended the way it did. And then there was this young cat, right? By the name of Morales, who's like super tall and 170 pounds, and he was fighting Sean Brady, bro, right? And then, you know, everybody's like thinking, and he was even the favorite. It was like a plus 170 or minus 175 favorite.
Right.
And the guy, you know, the person asked me, well, who do you think's going to win between Brady and Morales? And I said, it's 50-50, but I kind of feel like Morales is going to beat him, so I would go with Morales.
Right.
Obviously, he goes opposite and picks Brady. You know, I don't know why, man, but you do you. So Morales wins, right? And I'm like, yeah, that made sense to me, actually. And now he's starting to prove that I don't think he's ready for the world title, but he's maybe 1 or 2 fights away from the world title, right? But the guy's the real deal. And then Valentina Shevchenko.
She's a friend of the ring.
Yeah, she's an amazing flyweight, but I understand for all of you guys who thought Zhang Wei Li had a chance because she was this amazing 115 pound for pound great champion. I understand. She's got the skill set. She's amazing. At 115 pounds, she's super dominant. But she was moving up to 125 to fight someone in Valentina Shevchenko who might go down as the most dominant, well-rounded. She's kind of like, you know, and again, I hate to put this out there for everybody, but if you watch MMA, you'll kind of understand why I'm saying this. Valentina Shevchenko is kind of like the Terrence Crawford of MMA, man. All right, she just knows. She can do jiu-jitsu. She can wrestle, right? Switches, right hand, left hand. She can kick. She can knee. She can box. Yeah, like I'm just saying, man. She's just too good. She's just too good. And what happened? She did a 5-round fight. She was completely dominant of Zhang Wei Li. Props to Zhang Wei Li. She gave it a try, and now she can come back down and go get her belt back against Mackenzie Dern because, that's not your weight class. This is not your weight class, right? Shevchenko, on the other hand, Professor Cheese, already talking about possibly fighting Kayla Harrison.
Ooh.
You know what I mean, right? Like, but again, she's such a badass. She's fought at 135. Fought at 125. Fought, you know what I mean? Like, so anyway, that happened. I picked Shevchenko, so he at least listened to that one. He picked Shevchenko too. And then on the main event, bro, it was Islam Makhachev, who was the 155 UFC champ, who's trained by Khabib Nurmagomedov, right? So you already know what we're seeing. You already know it. Like, if you understand UFC, you don't have to pretend. This is the guy, okay? Right. He's moving up to 170, Professor T, right? And he's moving up to 170 against a really good champion in Jack Della Maddalena, JDM, right? And JDM has proven to be this great striker, good overall, 170-pound champion, blah, blah, blah. So the one thing you could argue, I guess, is the weight. Could Islam move up in weight? Right. Dude asked me what I thought, and I said, I didn't even hesitate. I said, it's Islam 100%. Put your money on Islam. Right. And then he said, I don't know. What about the weight? And I was like, trust me, Islam Makhachev is a different animal. Right. It doesn't matter. Height, weight, none of it. Just like, remember Khabib? Khabib, it didn't matter. If Khabib grabbed your toe, you were done. Right? Like you were done. He was gonna figure out a way to go from the toe to the shin to the knee to the thigh. Next thing you know, you're down. Next thing you know, you're suffocating like an anaconda was trying to crush you and swallow you, man. It was horrible. So what happens in this fight, Professor T? I'll tell you. It was a 5 rounds of complete beatdown, the same way Khabib used to do it to people. And he's now the champ of the world. He's pound for pound the #1 best UFC fighter in the world. Don't bet against Islam. It's very difficult. And you have a black belt in jiu-jitsu, right, Professor T?
Oh, yeah.
You try to explain to the people how difficult it is to get from someone like who keeps taking you down and taking you down. And
with that kind of skill set, it's almost impossible if you have no ability or counters, or you haven't literally trained ways to get around it. And it happens all the time. You see it all the time. One of our very first fights, we commentated, right, where the guy couldn't get out of a crucifix. I mean, that's jiu-jitsu 101. Like you learn that in 6 months. So, that's where the discrepancy is, and sometimes why people will look super amateurish. And that's the flip side of all of this stuff, because you do have guys that are absolute legends in their specific, you know what I'm saying, genre or what have you. But that's not going to win MMA. You got to be well-rounded, baby. You can be the best judo chick in the world, but eventually somebody's going to come across, and the best judo chick in the world is going to be nullified, right? Sure, you can be the best boxer, striker in the world, but guess what? Somebody's going to come along, and you may never even get to throw a single punch. It's the nature of MMA, man, and that's why it's so intriguing. I think that's where you really get the chess match, because right, styles make fights, and the tit for tats and what you know and don't know can really make a fighter look great or average.
Right. And that's what you guys saw in UFC 322. Feel free to watch the replay. It should come out by next week or by this weekend. I'm sure somebody put it out on YouTube somewhere already.
There was a big wild situation that went on.
Oh, tell us about it. I don't want to say I know what it is, but you tell us about it.
Let me go on up here and share this and see if we can get some sound here. Let's see what happens.
All the time, especially behind the scenes. But I was right there on press row when that crazy brawl broke out with Dylan Dennis and the member of Khabib's team and stuff. Can you just tell us how disappointed you were to see that, and any insight into the fallout?
I blame myself for that, actually. They came back and told me right before I walked out for the main card that Dylan Dennis was here, and he was moving around, sitting in fighter seats and not sitting in his own seat that he had. He had a ticket. And they said, "Do you want us to throw him out of here?" And I said, "He has a ticket?" And I said, "Yeah." And they told me, they said, Masvidal said he's going to fuck him up on sight. And I said, "Well, where's Masvidal sitting?" He said, "Well, he's 6 or 7 rows away from Masvidal." I said, "Well, if the guy has a ticket, let him sit in his seat and let him do what he's doing, and keep an eye on him." It never even crossed my mind, as stupid as this could be, that the entire Muslim Brotherhood was here tonight in the first 5 rows for Islam. And as soon as it broke out, I was over on the other side, and I go, fuck. I know exactly what that is. I knew it. And, you will never see Dylan Dennis at a UFC fight ever again.
I was going to say, he's wanted badly to come in this company. He said you guys don't want to sign him because he makes too much trouble. I guess point made.
Dude, that had me dying. Dylan Dennis, who, by the way, is absolutely a master in grappling. I will give him his props, but clearly you can see, I'm just going to say, he's a dipshit. I mean, that fight was huge from what I, heard, knew.
Well, it just, you don't, like what's crazy to me too, Professor T, is I want you to think about just the optics of things, right? In basketball, we had Malice at the Palace.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
People were suspended.
Yep.
And we still talk about it to this day. They've done documentaries on this.
That was so wild.
All right?
Yeah.
Okay? Right. dude, that thing happened, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what happens. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like normal, right? And it's not normal. It's not normal, guys. I was one of the people sitting in that same row section, and I paid thousands of dollars to be there.
Right.
I would be, like, imagine if you brought your mom to the fight and you had her that close, okay? Or you brought, you know what I mean?
Terrible.
Right?
Terrible.
You guys should not be subjected to unprofessional acts, certainly not gang-type violence.
Exactly.
In a major fight like this, okay? Like, this is not, and I know that sometimes in our combat sports world, it may seem like it's okay because, what did you expect, right? You were going to a fight. Look, everybody who's champions, they're professional, man. Stuff like this is not supposed to happen. All right, that's an outlier. But yes, I know you guys have heard of stories of Conor McGregor throwing a chair on a bus and breaking a window and all kind. And I know it's terrible. Okay, it's actually bad for the combat sports world. It's not a good thing. I hope at some point, whatever Dana White can do to maybe help, I don't know, minimize it.
Right.
I'm sure they're doing what they can, but for you guys who are casual audience, people who are listening to this, please realize it is not supposed to be a normal scene for you to pay thousands of dollars to go sit on front row and expect a brawl to happen in front of you. All right, that's not supposed to be. But yeah, Dylan Dennis, I'm sure will probably never get a chance to go to a UFC event again. Yeah. And then yeah, man, like try not to. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, Professor T. If you're a member of one party that is super racist and you decide to go to the other party's gathering, I mean, you might want to expect violence to turn out, you know? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, man, and again, I don't want to get too specific on it, but just certain differences are just differences. And then if you make it personal and then you decide to show up at an event that happens to have said people off of some of the things that you might have said that might piss them off.
Right.
You know, like, I mean, were you looking for trouble, man? Like, I'm just saying. I don't know.
You have to think. Yeah, I mean, he's been a troublemaker his whole life. So it is what it is. I'm glad Dana White's done something about it. That's the thing. That's why I wanted to show it. And hopefully it deters other dipshits from doing this kind of stuff. The thing is, you're already considered meatheads, guys. Like, why do you think people don't want to join? Why do you think it's hard to find, training partners and stuff? Because there's no place for it. And in fact, in most, if not all martial arts, right, the respect is so high. Rarely do you get this kind of nonsense, but it's still a part of it, right? Like you said, Coach, I wanted to just address it. Say that Coach and I definitely don't stand for any of that kind of nonsense.
No, it's nonsense, man. Please don't do that. Violence is never a good choice on anything. Y'all, no, don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah, let's end on a positive note.
Yeah.
And we got to watch the Conor Ben, Chris Eubanks event. Over 70,000 people, I believe it was. That was at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where they played in the NFL twice this year. Packed crowd, and if you have to be a UK or a Brit. You have to be from that side of the world to understand the magnitude of this. But they had, like Rod Stewart was there, right? Or one of the best soccer players were there. Right. Jason Statham was there, right? It's like their version of Hollywood stars.
Absolutely.
And everybody was there, right? And like all the top boxers were all there to watch it. The pageantry was there. The fathers were there. Chris Eubanks Sr., Nigel Benn were there.
I love some Chris Eubanks Sr., bro. That His whole vibe is sick.
I know you do. I know you do. And just like we talked about here on the Knockout Canvas, I gave my prediction, and my prediction again was dead on.
It was spot on, bro. I was way off. I was way off. I can admit I was way off. I thought that Eubanks Jr. would come in with a little bit more focus. And I don't know if this was hey, look, I know I'm gonna get paid for the third fight, and that's really where I want to focus. I don't know, right? You just don't know, but it wasn't a good outing for him, and he did not look good at all. He did not look good.
Well, the other thing too that keeps getting forgotten in this narrative is Conor Benn is a 147-pound fighter. The only reason why he moved up to 160 for this particular 2-fight series is to avenge his father.
Correct.
That was it, man. He was never going to stay at 160.
Never.
He was always going to go back down to 147. And the fact that Chris Eubank Jr. was thoroughly dominated by a 147 fighter tells it should be more about us talking about how great Conor Benn looked, how great his adjustments were, how he didn't let his anger, like in the first fight, his anger got to him because Chris Eubank Jr. slapped him in the face with an egg, right? It got to him mentally. It made him like crazy, and instead of fighting the way he knows he could fight, he was trying to kill him with every punch. And then in the first fight, he lost 8-4 on all 3 judges' scorecards. I had it closer. But in the first fight in April, there was no question that Conor Benn was the one hurting Chris Eubank, not the other way around.
Correct.
Right? I'm not saying he didn't hurt Conor Benn. I'm just saying of the two, the one with more power that was hurting people's jaws was Conor Benn. So even though he lost on points, he only lost on points because he was so damn mad. Right. You know what I mean? Right? Okay, this second fight, he wasn't mad. He was just like, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna use my jab. I'm gonna change levels. I'm gonna use distance. I'm gonna work the body. He dominated him, complete shutout, and almost knocked him out. Knocked him down twice in the 12th round. Almost knocked him out. So kudos and congratulations to Conor Benn. Chris Eubank, man, look, it's time to wrap it up. It's time to wrap it up because even if you want to move up to 168, those guys are killers, man. You're going to be 37. All right, you're going to be 37. You got twin boys coming. Like, bro, focus on being a dad, man. Focus on dad life. You made money. It's time to get out. Time to get out. You don't want none of the. You don't want Mbili. You don't want Diego Pacheco. You know what I mean? You don't want Oslis Iglesias, right? You don't want these guys. You don't want Lester Martinez, man.
Those days.
Right? Yeah. No, and you definitely don't want Terrence Crawford. I'll see you right. No. You definitely don't want that. Just call it quits, man. Just call it quits. For Conor Benn, he already made it clear. They're trying to make it work with Mario Barrios because he wants the WBC 147, but he wants all of them. Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia. If you're 147, Conor Benn wants you, and I'm here for it, man. Conor Benn is one of the biggest stars in the world when it comes to boxing. Correct. Absolutely love this guy. And I'm not even that big of a like in terms of UK fighters. He might be my favorite UK fighter right now, just because he's really that guy. And he's only 28 or 29. He might have just turned 29. Yeah, so yeah, man, he's gonna turn the 147 division around. And with that said, Professor T, man, 147 is exciting now. We got Jack Catterall, Devin Haney, Brian Norman Jr., Lewis Crocker is in the picture. Manny Pacquiao might come in there. Ryan Garcia is still in. Right. You got Mario Barrios, Rolly Romero. So it's getting fun. And then you never know. Shakur, man, Shakur. If Shakur beats Shakur already challenged him, remember, earlier this year. He said he'd be willing to go up to 147 to fight Conor Benn. I mean, I'll tell you this, if Shakur beats Teofimo Lopez to become the WBO 140 champion.
That's a big fight, too, by the way. I'm telling you right now, I think Teofimo Lopez has the speed to deal with Shakur Stevenson. This is interesting. It's right, don't you?
It's a conversation for when we're getting closer to it. I want to see the contracts. I want to see the contracts fully signed, but it seems like it is going to happen. It's supposed to be January 31st or January 26th, something like that. It's going into 2026. They're still trying to put that entire card together. I'm hearing different rumors about it. But just to make it quick, because we got to go, I will say that I disagree respectfully, Professor T. I think Teofimo Lopez will absolutely get destroyed by Shakur Stevenson.
Really?
It won't even be close. He will absolutely be destroyed.
He's never been destroyed by anyone.
Well, but certain fights he didn't look good in.
No, I agree with that, buddy.
All right, and he lost to Kambosos.
That was I don't know what happened with that fight. No,
you see what I'm saying, though, right? That's my whole point. Is if a majority, if we say that boxing is 90% mental at that level, right? Then that's the problem with Teo is the mental.
Right.
I don't know. And we're talking about Shakur, man. Shakur's never looked that. Shakur is like Greg Maddux. You know what I'm saying? Right? Like he's going to give you a good outing when he pitches.
Right.
Even if he loses the game, it'll still be a good outing, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Right?
I do.
But Teofimo Lopez is like a fastball pitcher. Like sometimes he's good, and then sometimes it's like I don't know what happened.
You don't know what you got. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I really do.
But Professor T, you're right. If we get like A+ Randy Johnson version of Teo, he can make it interesting against Shakur. It's just that it's like, but I mean, come on, man. I'm not, I'm not gonna do that. If Jake Paul was bigger and stronger, like come on, man. Like, what are we talking about here? Well, yeah, we're done. We're done, man. But that's it. That's it for me. That's the news as it goes along. Did we miss anything else, Professor T?
No, not that I can think of. This weekend will be packed with sports, period, across the board in general. So get out there and watch some boxing, ladies and gentlemen. Watch some boxing.
Yes, sir. This Saturday, again. Are you gonna? Oh no, you're gonna be gone. Or are you gonna be doing a Bobcat thing so you won't be able to cover it for the people?
Yeah. The game starts at 2:00. So.
Yeah, no. You got to cover all of that. You got to.
We actually have a bar.
Okay.
So every city, again, and this is the part of where college actually matters. Every city that's a major city has a watch party location for the Bobcats, Cat Grizz, and both sides show up. Like, so there'll be a whole lot of Grizzlies at this bar too.
It's awesome.
It's
That's awesome, man. I love it. I absolutely love it, Professor T. That's amazing. Absolutely love that you're getting a chance to do that. Congratulations to all that is involved. And then, man. Next week, Wednesday, we're back at it again. 4 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Texas time. Yeah. So we'll see you guys then. We'll probably be talking. Hopefully, we're not talking about Jake Paul anymore, but we probably will.
I know. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen.
Excellent show. I know you got to get out of here.
Yeah, I gotta go. Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah, get out of here, man. I'll catch up with you in a little while.
Yes, sir.